She rocked lime green roots when everyone else played it safe. She wore a MET Gala corset one year and a baggy hoodie the next. She's whispered songs into your soul and belted ballads straight from your gut. Today we're diving deep into the mystery of Billie Eilish through the lens of the stars. Welcome to Guess That Zodiac Sign, the only show where we don't just spill tea, we astrologically steep it. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, we're revealing the zodiac sign of Billie Eilish. But until then, you're guessing right along with us. Let's start with fashion, because Billie didn't come to blend in. She first burst onto the scene in oversized streetwear, neon green roots, baggy shorts that looked like they were borrowed from an NBA player's suitcase, and enough chains to make a pirate jealous. Was it a style statement, a rebellion, a defense mechanism? Spoiler, it was all three. She famously said in a Calvin Klein ad, "Nobody can have an opinion because they haven't seen what's underneath." That's not just a fashion statement, that's philosophy. One minute she's in head-to-toe Gucci, the next she's in thrifted grandpa chic. Billie's style, unpredictable, experimental, non-conforming. She also told Elle magazine, "The only reason I did it was because I hated my body." That vulnerability, wrapped in bold, in-your-face fashion, made her more than an icon. It made her real. But what happened next? She flipped the script. Suddenly, vintage lingerie, old Hollywood waves, corsets, a whole Vogue cover that had the internet collectively short-circuiting. Was it a rebrand, a metamorphosis, a power move? We say all of the above. But here's the astrological question. What sign completely reinvents themselves just because they feel like it and pulls it off effortlessly? Could it be a Gemini whose identity shapeshifts like runway looks at Fashion Week? That's a strong contender. But think deeper. Billie doesn't just follow trends, she creates them. She doesn't ask, "What's hot right now?" She asks, "What feels true to me in this moment?" She dresses to protect, then she dresses to provoke, then she dresses to play. She wore a bejeweled swim cap to the Oscars. She showed up to the MET Gala as Gothic Barbie one year, and then cottagecore goth girl the next. She launched a sustainable Nike Air Force One collab with vegan materials. Who else takes an iconic streetwear staple and turns it into a statement on ethics and the environment? Now ask yourself, is this someone obsessed with balance like a Libra, or someone who just wants to push boundaries? Because whatever Billie's wearing, whether it's a slouchy hoodie or a custom corset, it says, "This is where I am today. Tomorrow, you'll have to catch up." So which zodiac sign refuses to stay in one aesthetic lane? Who sees style as an adventure, not a destination? When Billie Eilish sings, she doesn't just hit notes, she paints them. Her voice is like smoke curling around your spine. Software intimate, sometimes eerie, sometimes explosive. Let's take a trip through her discography real quick. Her debut, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?, was like a lucid dream. Part haunted house, part bedroom whisper confessional. Songs like Bury a Friend had us asking, is she okay? While secretly vibing in the dark. Then came Happier Than Ever, an album that burns. She goes from fragile falsettos to full-blown screams like she's driving through her own emotional roller coaster with the windows down. That title track starts like a lullaby, ends like a hurricane. I could talk about every time that you showed up on time, but I'd have an empty line. Oof. Now let's get astrological. There's a depth here, an emotional honesty that screams water sign, right? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, they live for this type of lyrical vulnerability. But then again, Billie isn't drowning in her feelings. She owns them. She expresses them like they're art projects. She says, "Yeah, I've been through it. Want to hear the soundtrack?" She doesn't cling to the past, she moves through it, and that's the difference. Let's look at some recurring themes in her lyrics. In the song I Didn't Wanna Be You Anymore, she shows inner conflict. In Therefore I Am, she shows fame fatigues and is basically saying, "Don't talk to me if you don't know me." The song Everything I Wanted literally sounds like a dream journal entry asking existential questions. And lastly, the song My Future is basically a love letter to herself, where she's freeing herself from any expectations. Now pause. What kind of zodiac sign loves to explore big ideas, isn't afraid of darkness but doesn't live there, talks about freedom and means it? You might think of Aquarius, the deep-thinking outsider. Or maybe Sagittarius, the wild soul who sees even pain as part of the journey. And get this, Billie wrote and recorded most of her early music in her bedroom. No big studio, just raw thoughts, raw sounds, raw emotion. That's not just introversion, that's self-trust. She once said, "Writing music is like therapy, but cheaper." That's fire sign energy if we've ever heard it, turning chaos into creativity, turning heartbreak into a hook. Also, can we talk versatility? One day she's whispering like she's telling secrets in a library. The next day, she's singing a James Bond theme with orchestral drama. No Time to Die still gives goosebumps, right? That kind of artistic range, that genre-hopping, vibe-shifting, emotion-channeling fluidity. Yeah, that's not a fixed sign. That's not someone who stays in their lane. That's someone always chasing the next sound, the next version of themselves, the next mountain to climb. So, is she a Gemini chameleon, an intuitive Pisces, a moody Cancer, a poetic Libra? Or is she something a little more wild, someone who turns her entire music career into an open road? Headlights off, windows down, destination unknown? Let's talk values. Billie isn't shy about her opinions. She's spoken open about climate change, body shaming, reproductive rights, and even called out politicians by name. But here's what makes her stand out. She does it with conviction and sarcasm. She once said, "You're not even doing the bare minimum if you're silent." That doesn't sound like someone who's trying to win followers. That's someone who believes in the truth, no matter how uncomfortable. So, question, could she be a Scorpio, known for their laser focus and emotional depth? Or is this bluntness and honesty giving Aries? From the outside, Billie might seem dark, moody, even mysterious. But if you watch enough of her interviews, you know what she really is? Hilarious, spontaneous, a walking meme. She'll make a joke mid-serious interview, change her accent mid-sentence, or turn a red carpet into a playground. She's not afraid to take risks, like recording a James Bond theme at 18, or switching up her entire image mid-career. Ask yourself, what zodiac sign has the guts to change direction just because they felt like it? What sign says, if it doesn't excite me anymore, I'm out? So what are we looking at here? A rule breaker in fashion, an explorer in music, an unfiltered voice in activism, a spontaneous joker in public. She's bold, independent, optimistic, and unapologetically her. If you guessed Sagittarius, you nailed it. Billie Eilish was born December 18th, making her a full-fledged fire sign ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, truth, and freedom. Sagittarians are known for their blunt honesty, their restless spirit, and their deep love of exploration, whether that's across countries or across their own emotions. Billie is Sagittarius energy. She's not just changing the industry, she's redefining what it means to grow up in it, evolve in it, and burn brighter every time she reinvents herself. So what do you think? Does Billie scream Sagittarius to you? Or were you totally thrown off? Drop your guesses and your sign in the comments and let us know who we should decode next. This was Guess That Zodiac Sign. Until next time, may your moon be vibey and your rising sign booked and busy.